Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have another dream to share with you all. It is June 7th, 2026, Sunday. So it was early this morning, and like I said, I was going to come back on here if I felt led to share another one of my dreams that I feel is important or has spiritual significance. So before we get started, I was going to mention I'm only going to be sharing the dream and what I believe it represents. But if you would like to know more, then you'll need to watch another video that I'm going to be putting out regarding this dream, okay? This is regarding the Abomination of Desolation. So if you want to know more about that topic, I don't want to make this video too long, so you're welcome to watch that. It'll be in a separate video. Anyway, so this morning, early this morning, while I was asleep, what I remember was the first scene. I remember trying to pull myself up, like on a rope, like on a loop. And I was trying to get to the upstairs of a house, not outside, like to the roof, but inside. And someone went before me. I believe it was a woman that I knew before, an old friend. And then I was next trying to get up, and I could hardly get up there, but I did it. Okay, that was one scene. That doesn't really have a lot of significance, but it has meaning. Second scene, I was in like some type of like vintage or old school hotel, and there was a woman and a man there that went in to use the restroom. I was there as well. I remember looking at the details of the restroom, the shower curtain linens, and this and that. I believe it was. And then I was in the sink area, where you wash your hands. The man that had gone into the restroom came out completely naked. Okay. And because he had soiled his garments and his undergarments, so I looked at him and I asked him, "Where's your undies?" I mean, it seemed kind of silly to the both of us, but I looked away and I didn't really see anything there. It was just, I knew he was completely naked, as far as his private parts. And I don't recall his response, but I do recall that his colleague, because he had a colleague that was with him, left to go get him some clean garments, clean clothes. Okay. And after that, right when I was waking up, I saw, when you see the abomination of desolation, flee. When you see the abomination of desolation, flee. When you see the abomination of desolation, flee, over and over. And I don't recall if it was in different ways, but that's what I remember seeing or repeating over and over until I woke up. And that was the end of the dream. My interpretation for the dream, okay, is that the first scene, when I'm trying to pull myself up that rope to get upstairs, I don't know why there was no stairs, or maybe there was, but I didn't see any. Um, may mean that I was trying to persevere. I'm trying to persevere through the challenges of this life, trying to endure until the end. Okay? That's what I believe that represents. You have obstacles, challenges in your life that you need to uh, hurdle, like hurdles over, okay? The naked man that was completely soiled, I believe represents the man of perdition or the man of sin. And the nakedness is exposes. It means it exposes him. Remember, scripture says that the man of sin will be revealed. Okay? So, I believe that's what it means. And being soiled in the filth represents sin. So, this to me represents the man of perdition, the anti-Messiah, or also known as the Antichrist. Okay? Who will be revealed in due time. And the time is short. So he can't be trusted, this man. He had no way of covering himself. He didn't have any kind of garments. So, what I believe as far as the colleague that left to go get him clean garments, I thought about this. This could be the false prophet, because remember that it's going to be both the false prophet and the anti-Messiah. Okay? When the Abomination of Desolation happens. And the false prophet, when he left to go get him some clean clothes, okay, if you watch the word study that I'm going to do, you're going to realize the false prophet represents the high priest. Okay, the high priest has to come before Yahweh with clean garments, and everything has to be undefiled. Okay? You can't come before Yahweh defiled. And there's only a certain lineage that can come before Yahweh. But this has to do with the temple sacrifices that are coming. Okay? So, I believe this, when he said he went to go, I'll go get you some clean garments or clean clothes, it was referring to because he's supposed to be clean and undefiled as the high priest. Those are just my thoughts. Okay? I don't know. I don't know who he was really, but that's what I think he could have been. Matthew 24:15 describes the abomination of desolation in the holy place as spoken by the prophet Daniel. So, I'm just going to go ahead and read that to you. Okay, so it's also in Mark chapter 13, verse 14. But this says, when you see the abomination that causes desolation standing in the holy place, or where it does not belong, let the reader understand. Then let those in Judea flee to the mountains. Now, I don't recall the last part, but I do recall when you see the abomination of desolation, flee. When you see the abomination of desolation, flee over and over. Okay? So you will find that in those two verses. And also, I was going to say, the dreams that I have are not, how do I say, they're kind of like make-believe dreams, but they mean something. Okay? They're of spiritual significance, I believe. And I believe that the Most High is trying to communicate with me in some way or another with dreams. Again, in the end times, Scripture says that, your men will dream dreams and your daughters will prophesy, and etc., etc. And I believe that he's trying to show me what's happening or what's going to happen, because I have been getting a lot of dreams lately, like more frequently than before. And that, when I woke up this morning, I felt an urgency, and I felt like my spirit was just, I don't want to say crushed, but it was just concerning to me. And I wept. Why? Because I know the time is coming, brothers and sisters. The time is so short. The return of our Messiah is imminent. Yes, the return of our Messiah will be after the Great Tribulation. But I truly believe that the 144,000 will be, it says in Scripture, they're going to go up to the throne of God, Elohim. Not necessarily that they're going to go up completely. Maybe they're going to be translated. But we will all eventually meet and be in the land, in the new, in the kingdom. And we're going to be under the kingship of Yeshua, the Messiah, for the 1,000-year millennial reign. Okay? After that, comes, remember, the New Jerusalem, the holy city that comes down from heaven. That's in Revelation. But I truly believe that these dreams mean something, and that Yah is trying to share something with me, and I believe it's a very important significance, and I feel like I need to share. But it made me weep, because I know that my loved ones aren't saved. Our loved ones, so many people out there. And it's not just them, it's, even the people that claim and profess that they follow the Messiah, Yeshua, their fruits are rotten. You will know them by their fruits. So, as much as I express how I feel, and it's not really about how I feel so much. It's about the truth. As much as I try to tell my loved ones about what is going to happen, what is coming, it goes on deaf ears. It's like talking to a brick wall. They don't want to hear it, because they don't know Yah. The way you're going to know Yah is by reading His Word. So This message is of urgency because I know what's coming and we're almost there. I've had other dreams. I've had other dreams that the pregnant woman is about to give birth. That's a sign. So I believe Yah's trying to tell me something. And I just wanted to come and share this with you all. I mean, I know some people are not going to take it too well. You know, some people, they like to, you know, how do you say, not the word backbite. They like to lash back or, you know, ridicule and, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just a false prophet, this and that. You know, I never consider myself a prophet. I'm not. I'm just his witness and servant. Okay? And that is it. And I read my scriptures as much as possible. I study as much as I can. And, you know, he can use whomever he wants. And he can speak to whomever he wants and send messages. He also sends messages through his prophets and angels. And we are kind of like his prophets because, you know, the prophets of old have already spoken, but, you know, we're his witnesses, and as his witnesses, we proclaim the truth. We proclaim the gospel, the good news message, right? That's what we do. We are his anointed. And the scripture says, do my anointed ones no harm. Do my prophets and my anointed ones no harm. Anyway, so that is basically it, brothers and sisters. I believe that when you see the abomination of desolation and Jerusalem being surrounded, you know it's time. It's begun. Deception is coming, okay? We need to pray for discernment and make sure that you are spiritually ready. That is the main focus, is to be ready. Okay? It doesn't matter how much you prep. You can be off grid, or stay in your house, lock yourself up. It doesn't matter, okay? Because once your time is up, that's it. If you're spiritually ready and you are faithful to Yahweh, walking in his laws and commandments, you will have protection from Yahweh. His protection will be on his people. You have nothing to worry about. That doesn't mean we're not going to go through any kind of hardship. Okay? But those who remain faithful, Yah will lead. Seek Yahweh's leading. Okay? Again, take this to the Father in prayer. Pray for discernment. Prepare your hearts. And be ready for battle, because the time is short. And that is it, brothers and sisters. I will be back again when I have another dream or another kind of message or a word study. Thank you for being here and for listening. And I pray you all have a blessed rest of your day and a good rest of your week. Shalom.